Hi everyone, my name is Joanne and I am the Eclectic Stitcher. Welcome to my FlossTube channel. This channel is primarily about cross stitching. Sometimes I'll throw in diamond painting in there, but for the most part, when you're here for cross stitching. Welcome to all those who are new. Welcome to those who continuously come back and watch my videos. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you interacting with me and just sharing the love of cross stitch with me. Today is Friday, September 27th. It is the middle of the day. I am home and I'll tell you here in just a few seconds why. There's enough light in here, I think. But let me know. I want to know. I do have a ring light. I just did not want to use it. But I want to know if you can just let me know below whether the lighting that you see today is okay, too much, or not enough. To me, it looks okay, but I want to make sure that I'm providing good content and that you can see my WIPS and I can see the things that I show. So if you can just share that with me, just kind of want to get your feedback on that. And I appreciate that. Now, why am I home in the middle of a Friday and not at work? For those of you who may not know, I live in Florida. And Florida had a hurricane come through yesterday. No worries, all is good here. I live in Central Florida, so we were not impacted by the storm as bad as our West Coast friends. I have checked in with my West Coast friends, and they're all doing well. But we did have a little bit of a storm last night. Here, there was just really a lot of winds, some rain, but overall, it was fine. So I work for a local college here, and so we decided on Wednesday that we were going to close Thursday and Friday just so that we could be safe, our students could be home with their families, and they can all be safe. Yeah, I got a nice 4-day weekend. Who doesn't love a nice long weekend where we can sit and stitch and watch FlossTube and then, just do all the things we do. Okay, let's get to the video. Sorry, I had a little interruption with a phone call and I don't know what I was talking about, but yeah, hurricane, off of work, 4-day weekend, all is good. I'm going to do a lot of stitching this weekend, hopefully catch up on FlossTube videos because I think I have like 26 videos sitting in my watch later folder. So I am going to try my best to get a lot of stitching done. So I've got some things to show today. I have a finish, I have a start, I have some WIPS, I have some haul, I have some stitchy kindness, and I recently, I think it was last weekend, I attended a retreat. And so towards the end of the video, I'll talk about the retreat. If you're only here for the cross stitching, as far as seeing WIPS, maybe haul, I'll kind of leave retreat talk for the end. And that way, if you don't want to hear about it, you can just go watch other YouTubers, FlossTubers. So I'll leave that for the end. I will tell you, speaking of retreats, I don't mind hurricanes. I've lived in Florida for 33 years, so I've been through a lot of hurricanes. Some bad, some worse. But this weekend really made me upset because I was scheduled to attend a retreat in the Gainesville area. And that was canceled, of course, because Hurricane Helene was definitely going right through there. And so my retreat was canceled for this weekend. So it took me a little while to get over it, I'm doing okay, but I find that if I keep myself busy watching FlossTube, maybe going on Zoom later tonight, and just stitching, that maybe things will settle down for me. So yeah, so that was a bummer, you know, but that's okay. I will be able to go to their next retreat, hopefully, which will be in January. So all is well. Um, but yeah, so I'll talk about the retreat that I attended last weekend, which was Acorns and Threads. They're out of Oregon, and so I do the Zoom version of their retreat, which is just as great if you ask me. Okay, so let's get started. Let me go ahead and talk about WIPS. Let me show you what I have. Actually, I have a finish. This I finished during the retreat last weekend. Let me see, and hopefully my lighting is okay. This is Quaker Turtle by the Mindful Needle Designs. I started this back in June of 2023. And like I said, I just finished this during the retreat that I was on Zoom. Yes, it's taken me a while, but for those of you who may not know, I do have a lot of WIPs. If some of you don't have a lot of WIPs, hopefully you'll join the club soon. You can accumulate a lot of WIPs over time. But this is Quaker Turtle. This is actually going to be a gift for my sister. She loves turtles. And I'm going to have this sent to my friend, Miss Peggy, at my local needle workshop. And she will finish this for me. Now, I stitched this on a 14 count Aida by Charles Craft. And it is a printed bluish green fabric. You may not, I don't know if you can see. Well, you can kind of see like blues and white. There is a little bit of green in there. But yeah, so that's my one finish that I've had. So I was happy about that. And that's the only finish I had. I did have a new start. Not a whole lot to show, but there's my new start there. This is called Lakeside Twilight, and this is actually from the Cross Stitch in the Forest book that came out by Max Pigeon. And I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen that book. It's a great book. I think there's like 25 cross stitch projects. And I started this because Beth, the steadfast stitcher, decided to do a stitch along herself. And she pretty much said, pick any chart from the book to stitch. And we started on September 13. And so she created a hashtag, Pigeon Forest South. And so I wanted something that was going to be not simple, because the charts on this book, they're small. I think 90% of them are under 100 stitches. So they're small. I think they're great. But I just really like that, and I wanted to start that. And so that's what I did. I started that with my friends from Crafts and Books with just Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher. So that was my new start. Hey, maybe a screenshot with that. I don't know. FlossTube picks whatever they want, and sometimes they're not good. So that was my start. That was my finish. And now I have WIPS to show. And I really do hope that the lighting in here is okay. But please let me know, because I want to fix it. This was also a newer start. This is ABC Sampler by Lost in Stitches, which is, Lost in Stitches Designs. Lisa, she's from Canada. And I wanted something for Sampler September, and I thought, why not? I'm part of a Facebook group, Fandom Stitches, and they did a challenge this month of September for sampler stitching. And so I thought, oh, this will be perfect. I saw Lisa show this on her FlossTube channel a few weeks ago. I fell in love with it. I love those letters and just the little motifs in there. I am stitching this on an 18 count Aida. I bought this at my local LNS, which is Crafty Framers. They're in Largo, Florida. And the color of this is Tombstone. And I am using Classic Colorworks. I just chose my own colors. There's 2 colors in here, and I chose Just Rust, and Blackbird. So there is my start. Not a whole lot, but it's something. Okay. This next WIP, this is one of my favorites. I don't know why. It's just Stitchy Princess has become one of my favorite stitchers, along with Tiny Modernist. Sorry, this is coming apart. 1 second. I've been stitching on this for a little while, but I really like this. This is called Magical Forest. Can you see that there? Yeah. Now I did put some green arrows. That's just to show you where I stitch. So on this one here, I stitched those 2 bunny looking things there, and then the frog and that leaf pad thing there. So that's what I stitched on. This is Magical Forest by Stitchy Princess. I started this a couple years ago. I started this in April of 2022. If you can see there, I am halfway through. So I am hoping that I will finish this in the next few months. I am stitching this on a 14 count Aida. It's by Swigar, and the color is medium green, and I am just using the Called for DMC colors. And this was one of my first charts that I bought by Stitchy Princess. And I bought this around the time where the Ukraine war started against Russia. Is that what it is? And so just kind of bought it to support her. And I have I've been buying charts by her over the last couple of years, just because she really comes up with some really cute things. This next one is also one of my favorites. Okay, so they're all my favorites. They're not all my favorites, but you know, I'm a big Tiny Modernist fan. And I've been working on this for a couple of years too. I follow Laura, the Stitching by the Shore, because she finished this in the last couple months, the Wizard of Oz tree, and it's really cute. But I started this in April of 2022. I am stitching this on a 14 count Aida by Witchold, and the color it's a touch of blue. Now I am using the Anchor floss. Cheryl from Tiny Modernist, when she does her chart, she will have a DMC and an Anchor conversion. So this was my first time using Anchor floss, and I wanted to use it, so yeah, so there it is. And I worked on her this last time. Now this chart I do like because I can actually take bits and pieces of it, and if I feel like I'll probably stitch this next time, and so I feel like I'm accomplishing something when I work on little motifs like that. Oh, by the way, I don't iron my fabric before I show it, so sorry for the wrinkles. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. But here's that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. This next WIP, I did not put a whole lot of stitching in it, but I did work on it. And again, I use green arrows on most of my WIPs so that I can show where I left off. I do not I always forget this word. I don't know how to edit my videos and add before pictures. But there's that. This is the forest for the trees. This was an Ink Circles chart that was an exclusive for Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit 2023, which is hosted by Acorns and Threads. So I attended the Acorns and Threads Zoom retreat last year, and of course I had to do it again this year. And I am doing it again next year, hopefully. but I got a little work on that. I am stitching this on an 18 count Ada by Fiddler's Cloth. The color is light oatmeal, and this came with Classic Colorworks. This was a kitted project that came to us as part of the retreat. And there's that. This next WIP, let me take this off. It's a big one. Give me 1 second. Okay. So Hive Rules. Now I've been stitching on this for a couple of years too. I just wanted to open it up there. Here we go. I want to get it all on there. This came out a couple years ago, I think, at Market. This is by Primrose Cottage. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that. But I am almost done with it. I worked on this part down here. I worked on this. Didn't do a whole lot, but I am done with it. Almost done with it. I'm more than halfway. If you can see here, this is where I am here. So I just got this little bit to finish. And I really like this. I'm just stitching this on a white fabric, 14 count, using the DMC colors. Yeah, this is a release from 2022 Nashville Needlework Market. So I worked a little bit on that. And this is, I really like stitching on this. I think I'm going to gift this to a friend. She has 2 little girls, and I think this will be perfect for her and her girls in her home. So once I get it finished and FFO'd, I may share that with her. All right, this next one here. So this is called American Eagle by Twin Peaks Primitives. I am stitching this on, and I worked on this. Here, let me show you. I've worked on getting all these red stripes done, and I started this here. That's where I've worked on since you last saw it. I'm stitching this on a 25 count Lugana potato, color potato. I've always heard Beth, the Steadfast Stitcher, talk about this being her favorite fabric, and it was recommended that I try it, and I really like stitching on this fabric. And this I worked on for, this was one of my July 2024 birthday month stitches. I decided to do patriotic charts, and so this is one that I really put a lot of stitching on this in July. So yeah, I really like this. It's almost done. I don't have a whole lot to do. I just have to do the, well, that eagle, that's something else. I should have the flag done fairly soon, and then it's just getting that eagle stitched up. That's a lot of black. It's a lot of eagle. But he's going to be really cute when he's done. All right. Just a couple more WIPs. I didn't do a whole lot of stitching on this, but I did get a couple of these fireworks stripes done, and I think I've got some of this on this side too. This is Snap, Crackle, Boom. Not Snap, Crackle, Pop, but Snap, Crackle, Boom by Annabella. And I'm just stitching this on an 18 count Ada color Silver Moon. And I am using DMC. This was also one of my red, white, and blue birthday stitch for this year. So yeah, just a little bit of progress there. Nothing really exciting to see there. And then this has got to be probably my oldest WIP. This was from a stitch along by Fat Quarter Shop. This is called All the Trimmings, and I started this back in September of 2021. So I was fairly new to cross stitching. I started stitching in June of 2021, And I quickly found FlossTube, heard about Fat Quarter Shop, and I started to fall in love with a lot of the charts that they do. And so they did this Christmas in September stitch along back in 2021, and I decided to join in. But as you can see, I did not keep up with the SAL. I kind of start things, but I don't really finish them when the stitch alongs are over. But this is one of my charts that I really want to finish. It's almost done. So I worked on that tree. And this is another one of those that I kind of take, I just have 2 more trees to put here and then the bottom border and it'll be done. This is also on my year of WIPS by the Soulful Stitcher, Melanie Watkins. And so it is my goal, and I know I will finish this by the end of the month. I mean, not month, year. But I brought this out in September because Fandom Stitchers, along with the sampler September, the part of the challenge was to do a sampler and or a stitch along. And so I decided to do a sampler and a stitch along piece. So those are all my WIPs. Not a whole lot, but quite a bit of stitching. And so what I want to show you now is I just have a little bit of haul. I visited Crafty Framers last weekend or the weekend before last. I don't know. Time just passing by. I visited them recently, and I had somebody recommend that I try the, what do you call these? Hold that thought. Okay. Sulky. So I've never used Sulky floss, and somebody recommended that I try it because I like stitching on 18 count, but sometimes I can't decide if to do 1 strand, 2 strands, and one of my friends says, well, try the Sulky. And so I bought 2 variegated Sulkies to give it a try because I didn't have a chart to really stitch on. I thought, well, I can buy the variegated and just find like a monochrome chart. Is that what you call them? Monochromatic. And work on that. So I haven't started using it yet, but I bought those 2 flosses. And I can't wait to start using it. I also bought some black fabric. I don't stitch on a lot of black fabric, but I do have a couple projects that I'm going to be starting that are going to be on black. Now, the other Stitchy haul I have, I am part of Lindy Stitch's Endangered Species Club. This last month, Red Panda came out. Isn't he cute? So I am in the club, so every other month we get a chart. This is number 5, and there's one more coming before the end of the year. And as part of the club, you get the chart. You get the fancy floss, which usually is 4 skates of fancy floss, and then the rest is DMC, and then you get a sticker, which the sticker looks like this. I've already put it where I put my stickers, but that was my haul. Now, I call this Stitchy kindness because my mom, she sews. I don't sew. And so when I started stitching and started finding out about project bags, I'm like, maybe I can get my mom to make me project bags. But I just like simple project bags. I found, the envelope style. They're simple enough. My mom can stitch them for me. Nothing fancy. I don't even have her pull Velcro or anything on it. Just make me an envelope thing. I'm good with that. And so a couple weekends ago, I knew that I was going to be starting some projects. I told Mom, I said, Mom, I need more project bags. And she's so good about it, and I'll go buy fat quarter fabric. I'll go to the Dollar Tree because they have some really cute fat quarter bundles. And so that's what I did. And I said, Mom, you don't need to rush on these. You know, you just work on it when you can, but hurry, okay? And so I brought her the fabric Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon she says, hey, I made you those bags. Come pick them up. And I thought, oh, okay. So she whips them really quick. She sews them really quick. They're not perfect, you guys, but you know what? They're perfect for me. I don't sell them. They're not for anybody but for me. So anyway, so all that to say, I want to just share the ones that she made for me. Just because, you know, I think it's pretty pretty. So here's one. It's got these little llamas. Now, this is why I said it's not perfect. She probably could have stitched it with the llamas facing this way, but you know what? I don't judge. I just, you know, I mean, look, you know, they're not perfect, but it's okay. But I usually buy a printed fabric and then I buy a matching solid and then she just matches them up together for me. So that's the first one. Here's another one she did for me. It's got all kinds of, you know, pineapple, fruit, zesty, all kinds of little words. She made me this print. See, look at here. I need to cut that. This one just has the plain black. That's the llama again. This one already has a project inside of it with the peak inside. I need to set this aside. This is one of my projects. This one also has a project in it. But look at that. Isn't that so cute? That is the cutest beehive thing. And you know why I like this? Because I can also make these small. These are like 8 by 11. These are like the size of a paper, regular paper. And these are perfect for me. See, with my mom, I can say, hey, just make it this size. Don't do anything special. Just put it together. And like I said, she put all those together for me in no time. This also has. So thank you, Mom. I know you don't watch my channel because you don't understand FlossTube. You know, my mom sews. She stitches. She stitched for over 40 years. But she does. I tried showing her FlossTube and told her she can learn a lot, but she said no. She's good with that. But thank you, Mom. I really appreciate when she can just, you know, get those things done for me. And she did. I think there's 8 of them in here in a half a day. It probably took her like 2 hours to do all 8 of these. But anyway, so that's all I have. Look at that. We're just under 30 minutes. That's WIPS. It's not all I have. I am going to talk about my retreat that I attended for Pacific Northwest. I'll take a few minutes to talk about that, show you what I got. As far as plans, I'm just going to stitch. I try not to join a lot of challenges because I am busy. You know, I work 8 to 5. About a month and a half ago, I joined a billiards league. So I play pool, and so I try to get out to the pool hall like maybe a couple times a week before my game. Yeah, that's life. I guess this is all life, but I never played pool. Billiards, pool. I always have to use the word billiards because if I say pool, people think I'm going to like swimming pool. No, this girl don't swim. Pool. So I play pool, and it's fun. And so I keep myself busy with that. I'm still learning. I never played it before up until a month and a half ago. I've probably played about 6 games and I've won 2 games. So, hey, yay, go me. But I need a lot of work. I need a lot of practice. So I don't do a lot of challenges. Every once in a while, I'll do like a pop-up thing if it's just a quick thing. But but I just stitch. I just decided the last month or so that I was just going to stitch on whatever. This weekend I am going to stitch a lot. When I get done here, I'm probably going to take a nap. My daughter's at work. I'll pick her up in a couple hours. And then I'll just stitch. Today is Friday, so craft and books, or crafts and books. That is Beth, the Steadfast Stitchers group, Facebook group. She also does Assume. And so Friday is one of the nights that, you know, if I have time, I'll join in. I do plan on, I hope to be able to log in today and do some stitching with the girls. So that's just about it. I don't think I have anything really. I do have, oh, so Crafty Framers has their one-day retreat coming up October 12th, which is in a couple weekends. Those are really fun. It's called FAST, F-A-S-T, Friends All Stitching Together, I think is what it stands for. And so I'll be attending that. That's just a one-day thing. I think it's from like 9 to 4. And it's about 2-hour drive for me. So, you know, that's an all-day thing for me. I'll go out there and I'll stitch and just kind of hang out. So that's pretty much all I have coming up as far as stitchy stuff. So yeah, so thank you for watching. If this is where you're going to depart, thank you again. If you're new here and you like what you see, you can subscribe, like. If you have any comments, you can comment below. But thank you for watching. Have a great day. Okay. So Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit, or Pinawis, I think, Janine, who's the owner of Acorns and Thread, calls it. Now, I've never been to Acorns and Threads. I've never been to Oregon. But I do appreciate that some of these retreats are available via Zoom, because it is convenient for some of us who cannot travel. So I attended the first Zoom retreat, or my first Zoom retreat with them last year, and I really liked it. And so I signed up for this year. And this year the designers were Teresa Kogut and Beth, who is from Heartstring Samplery. And so I'm just going to show you what I got. I'll show you the charts and then some of the goodies that we got. Now, Teresa Kogut provided this bag, and this charm also came with the stuff. And this is part of the chart, and I'll show you the chart. It says, distance means so little when someone means so much. And it's just a regular bag. It's a cute bag, nice and sturdy. Beth hand stamped these cute little drawstring bags, and you could use this for anything. But she explained how she did these cute little stamps. It's real pretty. So those were some of the gifts. They provided this, it's like a little tray. Now it does come with some little feet, but the little feet I couldn't get them on. Just some kind of felt feet. I need to find some felt feet that I can put on there to keep it from sliding. But it's just a little tray that you can keep at your stitchy table. Oops, sorry. That's not a good, the glare is pretty bad, but it says Pinawis there, 2024. There's a couple magnets here that you can use to kind of put your needles or your scissors on there. They also provided this cute little Ort jar, excuse me. And I forget who this was. Oh, Michelle Ink Designs. Artisan Fine. So she created this for us. This was handmade from silver, I think. It's a cute little Ort chart. Not chart, jar. Teresa Kogut also provided 3 of her cards, 3 blank cards. Again, this is from the chart. And some stickers on the back. Some cute little stickers. And Beth Twist, her husband Matt, I guess he does a lot of woodwork. They live in a big tree farm, and so he does a lot of things with wood, and created these Stitchy stands for us. Now, isn't that cool? Not Stitchy stand, sorry. Cell phone stand. Okay, I'll get through this, okay? This cell phone stand, but isn't that cute? And I put a little label back there. I hand wrote on there where this came from, so I knew, if I still had this 10 years from now, I knew what the heck this came from. So that was a nice little gift. And he also created this for our floss. Now this is Finn. Finn is the raccoon. Willow is the beaver. This is what I forget who is who, but Beth had one animal, created one animal, and Teresa created the other. And it's part of the charts, and you'll see them in the chart. Now, during the retreat, I went ahead and took all my floss, and I got them all set here to go. I put the numbers on the back. Now, I didn't put any symbols because although their charts use the same floss, the symbols were a little bit different for the colors. So those were the little gifts we got. Now I'm going to show you the charts. So they each came up with a chart, but it is a chart that you can either stitch separately or stitch it together. I don't have a picture of it stitched together. I may on my phone, I'll look and see. But this was Teresa's chart. And like I said, you can see from the bag, this is called No Distance Too Far. Is that not the cutest? And this was Beth, half of the chart. So they're similar. Can you see that? They are similar. The borders are the same. Now they do have the same saying down here that says distance means no little when someone means so much. Now I am going to stitch this as one. So if you can kind of picture it, they kind of join together. Now what Beth did is that saying, she took it and made it all one. So she charted it one row so that when you stitch it together, you're not stitching the same words side by side. It's going to be all one long sentence. So that's my goal, is to stitch it all as one. And then they also threw in this extra, which is a biscornu. Now this is an exclusive biscornu. This is Willow and Finn. I've never done biscornus, but there you have the beaver and the raccoon. And so you will stitch the beaver and stitch the raccoon, and then you will put them together. So it actually, one goes on top and one goes at the bottom. And that is, and that's how they made it. But it's an exclusive. I think they said that they would, a lot of times these designers, they will put out their charts that they used at retreats, I think a year later. But from what we were told, that biscornu will not be sold as one. It'll be sold as two. So if somebody wanted to stitch it like we had, they just have to buy them twice. But yeah, I mean, they're fun. The retreat was fun. Even being in the Zoom, if you've never done a Zoom retreat, I encourage you to try it. I've done a couple. Lindy Stitches does Jingle Ball. If you've never heard of Jingle Ball, follow Lindy Stitches. She does a 3-day retreat, which is all online. It's great. I won't talk about it. Follow Lindy Stitches. But I would, the thing with Pinterest, they do have the face-to-face retreats there in at the hotel that they hosted on. But they have big screens TV in the room so that the attendees can also see us that are on Zoom. And they do interact with us. They'll have a separate computer set up so that if the attendees want to come chat with us, they'll do that. We've had FlossTubers come. Anna, who is Stitch Roadies, she spent a lot of time chatting with us, and so we get to talk to the attendees. We get to talk to other FlossTubers that are attending, which is great. It's fun. We still participate in the games. We get all the knickknacks, all the goodie bags, all those things we get. We can participate in the gift exchange if you want to. They do giveaways. So even though you're not there face to face, you are still part of the retreat. And let me tell you, it's just as fun. So if you've never done it, give it a try. Like I said, Lindy Stitch's got one coming up in December. And then if you follow FlossTubers that talk about it, give it a try. I can't travel all the time. I am finding out more in Florida. There are retreats that I can drive to, but going out of state sometimes is hard for me to do between work and life and family. But you still get the same. You get treated the same way. You're not face to face, but you still can participate just as the face to face. So anyway, I'm going to, that's all I have. I just kind of wanted to share that. I have not started. Oh, so they did provide a piece of fabric for the kit. But the fabric they provided was a 36 count linen by cedar linen. And so I don't stitch on linen. So I'm getting that swapped to an 18 count Aida. So I'm still waiting on the 18 count Aida to come in. But I'm not going to stitch it on linen. I feel comfortable doing Aida. And so that's what I'm going to do. So once I get that fabric, my kit's ready to go, I'll probably start that. Hopefully I'll get that fabric in the next couple of days. But that's it. That's all I have. Thank you for watching. If you stuck around till now, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, my email is below. You can follow me on Instagram or you can just comment below. I do enjoy the interaction and I will respond to your messages below as I see them pop in. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and we'll see you soon. Bye.